Hi, Robert D. Hamilton here, the Mind Coach. I want to do a visual podcast today on 3 things that stump people from getting started. And this is based on the 3 common answers I found after I asked my Facebook group. So here we go. The first one that came up, money. This is a biggie for a lot of people. And I get this when I'm coaching people as well. You know, they say to me, if only I had the money, Robert, to start that new business, follow my dream, I would. But my question is, how many banks have you approached to get a loan to start that business and to follow your dream? I know I once read of a guy when computer games were starting off, and he'd invented this computer game, but he couldn't get the finance, or he thought he couldn't get the finance to fund his idea. And he went the length and breadth of Britain. He went to 324 different banks, and eventually he got the loan. And he went on to become a multi-millionaire. So have you been to the bank? Have you just asked one bank, 2 banks, 3 banks? You know, you've got to really get out there. And if you've got that belief in what you want, that will come across to the bank manager that's assessing your loan as well. But also there's other ways that you can get money. You can ask, maybe try and find an angel investor. There's also crowdfunding now. A lot of governments have startup programs. Have you exhausted every single avenue? Then there's other things you can do. Obviously, you can save money. That might include sacrificing, or it might mean that you have to get a second job, a second part-time job, and save that money to then fund your business as well. But another way of looking at it is no money also forces you to be extra creative. Now, I know of another entrepreneur who was based in London who didn't even have his own house. He was living in a hostel, had a great idea for his business, and what he actually did, he went downstairs, took the telephone number from the street outside the hostel that he was living in. He called his hostel something house, so it sounded like he was in an office block and not a hostel. And he said he was only available between 10 and 11 because he was so busy to receive phone calls. And so between 10 and 11 o'clock in the morning, he stood outside and waited for phone calls to come in. So that was him. He didn't have the money, he couldn't get a loan, etc., etc. But not having that money forced him to be more creative. So, you know, have a look at it that way. Is the ways that you can start your business slowly. Could you start your business part-time? You know, so make sure that you're looking at all the avenues before you use money as an excuse not to start your business or to follow your dream. The second most popular one that came up was knowledge. I just don't have the knowledge to do what I want to do. Well, I'm sorry, this is a big fat excuse. Why? Because there's so much learning around. There's the Open University, there are night schools, there are colleges, you know, and then there's online learning. And, you know, a lot of this, you go to udemy.com, that's ude.my.com, I think it is. But research it anyway, you know, and that's an e-learning platform. There's millions of courses on there that are reasonably priced. Some are even free. And with the internet today, you know, I can't understand that people will say, I don't have the knowledge. You know, to me, it's just one big fat excuse. Motivation. I don't feel motivated enough to do it, Robert. If I had the motivation, you know, trust me, Robert, I would go for it. So people weren't saying this on my Facebook page, but people say that to me when I'm coaching. Now, there are 2 reasons for feeling like this or for having a lack of motivation. The first one is you don't want it badly enough, which means probably not your purpose. So this business or this dream that you have, this goal that you want to fulfill, you know, if you really, really want it desperately, so much, it's burning inside of you, then why do you need motivation? You know, you don't need motivation. You'll be naturally motivated to do it. If you want something so bad, nothing will stop you from getting it. The second reason, and sometimes this can be a combination of both, why people say they lack the motivation to do it. But the second reason is you don't have a mental video regularly playing in your mind of your outcome. So if you've got a mental video of you, the final result, the end result of your goal, your dream, your business, you know, it's up and running now, everything's running smoothly, you're making money from it, you know, you're doing what you love to do, whatever it is, whatever that goal is, and motivation stopping you from preventing it. If you have that mental video of your outcome and you play that mental video every morning and then at night before you go to bed, you know, this mental video again will naturally and automatically, you know, compel you, force you to act. And the other thing with motivation is, you know, it's a funny thing, but I find, you know, I write and I find that you know, there are a couple of mornings or a couple of evenings, whenever it is I'm writing, that, you know, I can sometimes feel, wow, you know, I just don't feel like writing now, or, you know, I have a mental block or whatever it is. But the funny thing is with motivation is if you force yourself and use some self-discipline, when I start writing, then the motivation follows. After about 10 minutes, I really get into the swing of it, and the motivation follows afterwards. So don't always think that you've got to be on this, you know, cloud nine or on this eternal high all the time. It doesn't work like that. Motivation will often come after you have taken action. So I hope that helps you. Now, one important point to remember here is this. Underlying all of these reasons, in inverted commas, is the power of your subconscious mind. Now remember, your mind, your unconscious mind, your subconscious mind, it resists change. It doesn't want you to achieve initially. So it could be resisting your ability to change yourself. Even when those changes are for the better, the mind can resist those changes. So it will sabotage you, and it will find excuses or reasons, if you like. Oh, I can't get the money, so I won't do it. I'm not motivated, so I won't do it. Oh, I don't have the knowledge, so I won't do it. It's just self-sabotage. You know, so just persist with it and just take the first step. Take some big action first and get the mind used to the change that's about to come into your life. So this is Robert D. Hamilton. I hope that helps you, and I hope it helps you overcome 3 of the most common reasons, in inverted commas, or excuses, however you want to look at them, that are stumping you and stopping you from getting started. Until the next time, I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye for now.